your grandma, I posted something explaining a little bit behind you, right? Telling your story a little bit. And that's only a fraction. You had an issue with your gym owner and then your grandma got sick. You had to go get a job to
Yeah,
like
yeah,
pay the bills for your grandma. So
yeah,
just so people can understand you, because I don't think people like know these things, you know?
yeah.
And so aside from the fighter, these are things that kind of like make you a fighter, I feel like.
Well, I appreciate you because I'll be honest with you, I don't like to highlight stuff like that,
That's
right?
why, yeah, that's why I'm
Because
saying it. But
yeah, I appreciate it. But my thing is for me, it's just like you got to take care of your responsibilities. You know that the people that cared about you from the beginning, those are people that's that you got to take care of. Um, so my grandmother when it came to that situation, like I ain't cry about it, I ain't get upset about it. I just did what I had to do in order to what I mean, provide for her. Still providing for her, still to this day. Have my auntie who takes care of her full time. But I take care of everything. So like I said, when I say them 50Ks be meaning a lot to me, they do, bro. And I really like my biggest dream since we speaking about it is like I want to build a house for my grandmother, because of her condition. I want to build up a house for her. And I think like the only way I can do that is by staying active, bro, and getting the fights that's needed in order to become a world champion. And I know I can make that happen. I know I can make that happen.
people don't know
Right,
the
right,
whole Joaquin Buckley.
right.
Um,
Eventually they will. We're gonna have like a little documentary out one of these days. But
okay.
I just keep it short. Like
And I'm
the
not making
reason
you
that,
tell it, but if you gonna tell it right now,
huh?
I wasn't gonna make you tell your story, but you gonna tell it right now or what?
Not the whole thing though,
Okay,
boy.
yeah.
That we gonna have some
No, I
time
wasn't gonna.
then.
But what were you gonna say? What were you gonna
uh,
say? Sorry.
but no, just regardless though, my grandmother was the one that took responsibility for raising me after I lost my mother, and when my dad didn't want to take the responsibility of raising. So with that being said, it's just like when that happened to her, when she got diagnosed with ALS, I was still living with her. I was staying with her at the time. I didn't have a job. I was still trying to just focus on fighting and stuff like that. So she was still being, my caregiver, right? She was my caregiver, you know what I mean? But when she was diagnosed with that in 2017, I didn't have no excuses like to be like, oh no, I'm looking for this dream. I'm trying to hunt this down, whatever. Like if it wasn't for her in the first place, none of this would even been possible. So like I said, we had to take a back seat to the whole dream, whatever, and me having to sit down and take care of my granny because it was just me at the time. And as I was taking care of her, you know, that's about for 2 years, my girl ended up, saying that she was pregnant, and then I had a baby on the way. So then we was definitely locked in, right? So having to find a job and doing all this other stuff, I had to work full time, I had to come back and take care of my grandmother, and I had to make sure that my girl was good, you know. But me staying disciplined and me staying at home and doing the right things, like I said, the universe will just reward you. And then I really feel like, if it wasn't for, certain things that had happened, right? And if I was just to be out, whatever, like, I would never have gotten into the UFC. Like, if I was selfish and just left my granny just how she was, you know what I mean, which would have been cold, I would never have been in the UFC, anything like that, because the universe would never reward me at all. You understand what I'm saying? But I ain't do it for no rewards. Like I said again, it's just like when you be a blessing for one person, which my granny was a blessing for me, I was able to be in turn a blessing for her because I was able to stay around, you know. Luckily though, like I said, my auntie had came back, and she's now living with her mother, which is my grandma yet again. But she's with her full time. And like I said, bro, we just need that support where my auntie can take a break, you know. 'Cause there's a lot on her as well, and I can see it. So, but it's a lot of money when it comes to those caregivers, man. For them just to even stay for 2 or 3 hours, it's a lot of money being, put out there. So, um, getting that support and getting that back, and then I need whether that's from a sponsor, whether that's from, just working with the ALS Association and getting that help, is definitely necessary right now. And with me continue on the path where I'm at, I know that I can provide all of that with that belt, all the necessary resources.
And that's why I said, right? I put in there, I said, that's why this guy's fought like 13 times in under 4 years. Like you got a few more months to hit your 4-year mark. You probably end up getting 14 fights by that point or something like that.
Really?
But and that's also why you called out Conor McGregor. People want to talk shit or something like that, but understand the fighter, and then the call out doesn't sound so crazy. He wants to take care of his grandma, make the biggest money possible, biggest fights possible, How does that sound crazy to you? How does that sound like a waste of a call out?
Right. They don't want to see Conor McGregor get knocked out. That's why.
You knock him out or what?
Like they waited this long. They waited this long to get Conor back in the goddamn cage. They ain't trying to
And
see
you're
my man
gonna
get
kill his
sparked around.
clout or something like that.